Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for clicking on this video. So we are doing a pregnancy update featuring a lot of what I have dealt with dealing with the shot Makena. It's one of those ways to say it. I'm not even gonna fight which way it is, tomato, tomato, you know. But I wanted to do this video because I know when I first started taking the shot, I would try to find moms who have dealt with the Makena shot, and I couldn't find any. And so I really didn't have much to like go on as far as what was normal, what was not normal, what have other people experienced. I know everything affects everyone else differently. So what I tell you is my experiences may not be yours. But I still wanted to share that experience. So I am exactly, I don't know why I look that way, but I'm exactly 29 weeks and 3 days pregnant. I will be, I am out of breath, you guys. But yeah, I am expected to have our little one October. I'm so excited. I'm an October baby. My birthday is actually October 12th. My husband's birthday is October 9th. And we're expecting our little girl's birthday to be October 10th is the expected due date, the full 40 weeks. But you know how that goes. You can either go to your 40-week mark, after, before. So as long as she's October, I am going to be ecstatic because I love October. I love fall. I'm a fall fanatic. Like, I've already got a few decorations going up. I'm driving my husband crazy. So this video, I'm gonna try to keep it as short and compiled as possible. I'll even do a belly shot for you guys. If you see me look down, it's because I have a notebook right here that has a lot of my symptoms, just overall symptoms from the pregnancy, and then my specific symptoms that I developed from the Makena shot up until now. I guess I will go ahead and show you the belly. So here we go. Here is the belly from the side, the front, and the other side. Yeah, a lot of people see the belly. I can't tell you how many times I've been asked, am I having twins? Am I sure my due date is October 10th? Like, it's been crazy. This is the biggest I've ever been. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know, I'm a little stuffy, which is one of the symptoms. Plus, I sleep under a fan, which is, I have to have my fan to sleep. So, but I can't tell you how many times I've had people ask me, am I even going to make it to October? And I'm like, hope so, fingers crossed, October baby. So, anywho, I found out that I was pregnant, it was in January. I want to say it was maybe January 26th, 27th. I didn't write that date down since I changed over my apps. I don't even have that date anymore. But it was, I actually found out on the day that I was supposed to start my monthly. So Unflow was supposed to come that day. A lot of people tell you to wait like a few days, like 2 to 3 days or even up to a week of when you actually miss your cycle. But I didn't really have any symptoms beforehand that prompted me to test. It was just like, I just felt like something was kind of off. Not like I was tired or having any nausea or anything like that. It was just more so like, I don't know, it was like a gut instinct that something was different with me. So I woke up, I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had already bought a test the day before. And so I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning and I took a test. It was a Clear Blue Digital. And I took that test. I'll actually insert a picture of the clear blue digital that I had, and it automatically said pregnant. Like within the time that it takes, I think it's like 2 to 3 minutes, it popped up pregnant. And I hear a lot of women say that, you know, for that test to actually read right and say that you're pregnant, like your HCG levels have to be pretty freaking high for it even to pick up. So I was gonna wait to tell my husband, but I was in shock and he was asleep. So I hit him and I was like, babe, look. And he was like, what? And I was like, look, get your phone, look. And he looks at it and he was like, where'd you get this? Off of Amazon. And I'm like, what? I was like, I just took that. He was like, yeah, okay. And he goes back to sleep. So he woke up about 6 o'clock because he had to go to work. I woke up again because I had to use the restroom. And so I went ahead and took another test. Let him see the test. I opened it up and I took another one and it popped up pregnant again. And he was just kind of like, yeah, okay. We were both in disbelief. Like it was funny. It was hilarious. So I ended up taking, y'all, I took like 4 tests. I took 2 more tests, and that was the first response test, and both of those tests popped up instantly. So we were officially pregnant. We went to, by my phone, it was saying that by that time I was like 4 weeks, but of course your app will add on that extra week. But when we went to the doctor's office, she was saying that I was 3 weeks. So she was like, for you to find out that early, that's really, really early. So, let's jump into the symptoms. So as the first trimester started, at about 8 weeks into the pregnancy is when I really started experiencing symptoms. And my symptoms were so bad to the point I was gonna hold off from telling my job that I was pregnant. I wanted to get to a certain point because I just, you know, you have that fear of miscarriages and things like that, and I have miscarried before. So, and then I've just had troubles with my 2 previous children. So I just wanted to get to a certain point before telling anyone. But by week 8, I really started experiencing symptoms. So one of my symptoms was extreme fatigue. Like, and when I say extreme fatigue, I mean I could barely keep my eyes open at work. Like, normally on my lunch break, I would go and walk to, you know, somewhere to get me something to eat. I would talk with friends. I'd be on the phone. I'd be doing something, you know, or I would eat or something like that. And I was literally just going to sleep. Like, soon as the lights would, because our lights were on, they weren't on like automatic time, but the woman up front would just cut the lights off. And so all of our office lights would go off. And as soon as those lights fell, my head was down. Like, I was knocked out. Like, as soon as my eyes was closed, I was asleep. I experienced a lot of nausea and vomiting. And a lot of people say morning sickness. I didn't put it as morning sickness because it was an all-day thing for me. Morning, noon, night. It was horrible. I could not eat anything. I could barely drink. My husband would sometimes just give me like some water or a Sprite, and sometimes that would even come up. Like, it was really bad. They have a word for it. It's hyper something something. I'll put it down at the bottom of the screen. So I'm not gonna try to butcher it, but that's basically what my doctor ended up saying that I was dealing with. I had to try 3 different medications for the nausea to even stop. They were just trying to tell me like, hey, whatever you can get down, just try to keep that down. I ended up losing 10 pounds within the first trimester. I gained no weight back. I lost 10 pounds. I ended up also having to leave work one day, and I had to get 2 of the bolus bags of fluids because I was so dehydrated and everything. And they also gave me medicine for the nausea while I was there. I also dealt with headaches. I have headaches on and off. Like, I'll deal with migraines. I have all my life. But it was almost like every day, every other day, I would have a bad headache. Cramping, like, the regular period cramp feeling, but not as extreme. And then I started to break out. And it was like weird because I would break out like on my face, but I would find like a pimple or something like on my arm or close, to my stomach or something like that. I'm like, that's freaking weird. But that was the majority of my symptoms for the first trimester. So into the second trimester, I did deal with nausea maybe the first and second week of the second trimester, and then once that was done, I was hungry. Like, I was eating everything. I wanted to eat everything. So I ended up getting back to my pre-pregnancy weight, or my initial pregnancy weight. So I gained that back. So that was about, I gained that 10 pounds back that I lost, basically. And then had a little more energy, not much. Some days were better than others. I had what Maurice deemed as lightning crotch. And what it would be is we would be laying in bed, and all of a sudden I would go, and he was like, what is that? And I was like, I don't know. It feels like somebody's jabbing me like over and over again with a needle. And he was like lightning crotch. And I was like, yeah. Don't know what that is, or didn't know what that was. When I would describe it to my doctor, they was like, oh, you're in the stage of like, you're going to be growing. There's going to be ligaments pulling and things like that. And it can feel like a stabbing, a burning, a pulling, all of those different sensations. So we just deemed it lightning crotch. And I started having hot flashes. So that's about the time I started to really freeze my family, because I'm just like, I have to have it cold. Like, even right now, like, I'm out of breath and it is a little spicy in here. I do have the air down low, but even sometimes, like, even with the air being on low, it's still too hot for me. And so also in the second trimester, that is when I started the Makena shot, or the Makena shot. And with that shot, is given every week up to, they're gonna stop mine at 36 weeks. They gave me that shot because my first son was 35 weeks when I had him, and my second son was 34 weeks. And so statistically, they'll tell you that if you have a baby early, you're deemed to, quite frankly, have your other children. You can possibly have them even earlier than the last. So since my first was 35 weeks, my second was 34 weeks, and he actually had to stay a week in the NICU, my doctor wanted to go ahead and put me on these injections. Like I said, they're one shot a week. So I go every Thursday for my shot. They give it to you in the back of your arm, and it almost looks like an EpiPen. I'll insert a picture of it, but it's almost like an EpiPen. And so they put it on your arm, it clicks, the medicine goes in, and then it'll click again, and that's when the needle is out or it's done, and they pull it off your arm. The injection itself, like the needle actually going into your arm, does not hurt. It doesn't bother me at all. The medicine burns. I'm not gonna lie to you. My nurse, I love her to death. She did not lie to me. She was like, hey, the medicine is going to hurt. So a trick that she told me was, if whatever arm that they're doing it in, if I just kind of squeeze and move my hand, it kind of makes it easier. So that's what I've been doing. It lightens it just a little bit, but it's still kind of painful. When I started the Makena, I started at 26 weeks. And that's when I started really feeling fatigued, because it is a progesterone shot. And progesterone is one of the hormones that, facilitates or helps with the whole feeling of fatigue. So I would feel more fatigued. After I get the shot, I get a knot. It forms a knot on the back of my arm, and also a bruise. I've had severe itching. Like, my husband has literally said that he's gonna put mittens on me. So, and because I itch so bad after getting the shot, my doctor actually told me to take Benadryl at night after I get the shots, or whenever I'm just seriously itching. I do have headaches and things the day before I'm supposed to get the shot. So I get the shots on Thursday. On Wednesdays, I'm normally really tired. I don't feel well at all. I'm very fatigued. And of course, I'm itching. And at one point, the shots did become more painful, even with the moving of my hand to kind of help with the medicine. We don't really know why that is, that all of a sudden even the little stick of the needle became painful. Like, 2 of the shots that I did, I actually called my husband about to cry, because I told him I was in so much pain that it hurt so bad. And then it was like, after those 2 shots, they told me to do warm and cold compress in between. Did that, and then next thing I know, the last 2 or 3 shots that I've gotten have not been painful at all. Even with the after effect of feeling the burning of the medicine, I don't really feel it. So I don't know if it's just that I've gotten used to it, or if it's not that strong since I'm getting further in my pregnancy. I'm not sure, but that's just my experience. And now that gets us into the 3rd trimester. And I think I mentioned in the 2nd trimester I was having hot flashes, but I'm still having those now. I've put on more weight, of course. I am seriously always out of breath. Like, sometimes my husband will just like, hey, stop talking, get you some air going, and then start talking. Like, he will stop me mid-sentence. I have had a return of nausea. It hasn't been as bad. Just some days I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm really nauseous. Sometimes I throw up, sometimes I don't. Heartburn and acid reflux came really towards the end of the 2nd trimester, but it's really hyped up now. I'm always uncomfortable. Like, always uncomfortable. And then I have like some severe leg fatigue. Like, either my legs are extremely tired and weak. Sometimes I'll sit up in a recliner and my husband will have to actually help me push the bottom of the recliner back down, because my legs just won't have the strength to do it. They'll be so tired. Or sometimes I'll deal with restless leg syndrome, and it's like they just have to move or I'm uncomfortable. So it's a hit or miss with my legs on occasion. I have been sleeping a little better. The only thing that kind of keeps me up is sometimes our little girl decides that she wants to have a party and practice her gymnastics and her dance moves. And so I can't really sleep when she's doing that. This little girl is strong, and sometimes her kicks hurt. So, and then I have been dealing with a few Braxton Hicks contractions. Some of them hurt more than others, but other than that, like as long as they're not consistently getting stronger and they're not in a rhythm every 3 to 5 minutes and stuff like that, then they say that you're fine. Mine don't, they come and go. They may last, I may do it like for an hour straight and then not have any more until 2 days later. So it's not anything for us to, you know, go, oh my God, you know, and as long as we feel removed afterwards, we are a-okay. So those are all my symptoms that I have experienced up until now, from finding out to now. Like I said, I'm 29 and 3. I'll be 30 this week, and then we will have 10 more weeks to go. 6 weeks until my last shot. And yes, I am counting down to my last shot because I am tired of getting those. So if you are a pregnant mama, if you have had children or anything like that, or even if you know some tips and tricks to help with being short of breath, fatigue, even if you're having your own symptoms, I would love to hear about them in the comments below. If you have any comments about your experience with Makena, or even if you want to know more about my experience, feel free to comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more, please do subscribe. See you next time. Bye.